Ever wonder how much information about you is readily available to anyone who knows where to look? Welcome to the world of social engineering and footprinting. Social engineering in the realm of cybersecurity is the art of manipulating individuals into divulging confidential data. It's a method that doesn't rely on sophisticated software or hacking techniques, but rather on human weakness and deception. Moving on to footprinting, it's a process that involves gathering as much information about a target as possible, often without the target's knowledge. This could include personal details, online behavior, or even the digital trails we unknowingly leave behind. Footprinters use this information to create a comprehensive profile of their target, which can then be exploited in various ways. So, why should we care about these techniques? Well, understanding these concepts allows us to appreciate the importance of privacy and cybersecurity. Knowledge is power, and in this context, it's our first line of defense. Now consider the case of the infamous hacker, Kevin Mitnick. Mitnick's story is one of intrigue, cunning, and a deep understanding of the human psyche. He wasn't just a man with a computer, he was a master manipulator who knew how to extract information from unsuspecting victims. Mitnick's most notorious hacks weren't about brute force or complex algorithms. Instead, he relied on social engineering, the art of manipulating people into revealing confidential information. This information was then used for footprinting, which allowed him to map out a network's vulnerabilities. One of his most famous hacks involved the theft of proprietary software from Novell. Rather than trying to break into their systems digitally, Mitnick tricked an employee into revealing their login credentials. He posed as an internal IT staff member, creating a sense of trust and urgency. This technique, known as pretexting, is a classic example of social engineering. Another infamous hack of his was against Digital Equipment Corporation. Mitnick manipulated a system manager into revealing a top-secret security document. He used this document to exploit the company's networks, causing substantial damage. But his cunning could only get him so far. Eventually, his activities caught up with him. A fellow hacker, Tsutomu Shimomura, noticed suspicious activity on his home network. After tracing the intrusion back to Mitnick, Shimomura worked with the authorities to track him down. Mitnick was arrested in 1995 and served 5 years in prison. Mitnick's story serves as a cautionary tale about the power and potential misuse of information. His exploits highlight the importance of being mindful of the information we share and the people we share it with. In an era where data is currency, we must all be vigilant to ensure our information doesn't fall into the wrong hands. Mitnick's story isn't just about a notorious hacker. It's a lesson in the vulnerabilities of human nature. It reminds us that sometimes the biggest security threat isn't a sophisticated virus or a powerful supercomputer. It's the person on the other end of the phone line, convincing you to share something you shouldn't. Mitnick's story serves as a cautionary tale about the power and potential misuse of information. So how exactly does one footprint through social engineering? Let's delve into the intriguing world of this crafty tactic. The process of footprinting through social engineering involves a series of steps, each as crucial as the next. The first step is the research phase. In this phase, the social engineer gathers as much information about the target as possible. This could be anything from a person's favorite coffee shop to the name of their first pet. You might think, what harm could come from someone knowing my favorite coffee spot? Well, such seemingly harmless information can be used to build a detailed profile of you, which can then be used for nefarious purposes. The second step is scanning. Here, the social engineer scans the target's digital footprint, such as social media profiles, online shopping habits, and even email exchanges. Again, this might seem benign, but remember, each piece of information is another piece of the puzzle for the attacker. Next comes vulnerability mapping. The social engineer uses the information gathered in the first 2 steps to identify vulnerabilities. These could be weak passwords, lax security settings, or even a lack of understanding about online safety practices. The fourth step is attempting contact. This is where the social engineer tries to establish a connection with the target, usually under a false identity. They may pose as a trusted friend, a tech support agent, or even a charity worker, all in a bid to gain the target's trust. The final step is exploitation. With trust established and vulnerabilities identified, the attacker exploits these weaknesses to gain unauthorized access or extract sensitive information from the target. So, the process of footprinting through social engineering is not a single action, but a series of calculated steps, each building on the information and trust gained in the previous step. As you can see, every piece of information, no matter how insignificant it may seem, can be a stepping stone for a potential attacker. Now that you understand the potential risks, how can you protect yourself? Protection begins with awareness. Be vigilant about the information you share, both online and offline. Each detail might seem insignificant, but when pieced together, they can paint a comprehensive picture of you, leaving you vulnerable to social engineering and footprinting. Keep your social media accounts private and limit the information you post. Be wary of unsolicited calls or emails asking for personal information. They could be phishing attempts. Always verify the source before sharing any information. If you're unsure, don't hesitate to ask for credentials or do a quick search online. Change your passwords regularly and use a mix of characters, numbers, and symbols. Use two-factor authentication whenever possible. Be cautious when using public Wi-Fi networks, as they are often less secure. Educate yourself about the latest scams and tactics used by cyber criminals. Remember, your personal information is valuable. Protect it. In the digital age, information is power, and footprinting through social engineering is a potent tool for those who know how to use it. We've journeyed together through an insightful exploration of the world of cybersecurity. We've unpacked the concept of social engineering and footprinting, shedding light on how they can be used to gather critical information. We delved into the real-life case of Kevin Mitnick, who embodied the power of these techniques. We also broke down the intricate mechanism of footprinting through social engineering. Understanding this process is key to appreciating how seemingly innocent social interactions can turn into gold mines of information for those with ill intentions. But it's not all doom and gloom. We've also discussed how to armor yourself against these techniques, emphasizing the importance of awareness and vigilance. As we conclude, remember the essence of our discussion today. Stay informed about the evolving threats in this digital age. Stay vigilant against the subtle tricks of social engineers. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and stay safe in the world of cybersecurity.